Well, today we're waiting on our swab test. That's right. Today's the 17th of our life in the Philippines, our quarantine life. But before I talk about the swab test for today, let me take you back before our flight. So a couple of days before our flight, I just wanted to get a swab test for everyone, just to be sure that there were no hiccups along the way. And so I went to Walgreens because I found out they were doing free testing. So anyway, when I went to schedule, they told me which one I would need, but they also told me that it was required by the airlines even to fly domestically. So wow, I was surprised. Really, we need this? I didn't know about that. I had not heard it before. I knew that if we were flying into the US, we would need a swab test. But to fly out, I had no idea. So I told them, well, we need one today because we're going to be flying out tomorrow night. Anyway, they said that's impossible because you have to schedule today to get one tomorrow. They said don't worry because it's, you get your results back in a little over an hour. Well, what a relief that was. So anyway, we scheduled the swab test for the family online, and so the next morning at our appointment time, we were there. You go through the drive-through, that's the process, and you actually do a self swab test by following the directions of the pharmacist. So anyway, she said, oh no, this is not a 1 hour return. It takes 24 hours to get your results back. But wait a second, are you sure? Because the lady told me before it only takes about an hour. She said, no, this swab test takes 24 hours to return. I thought, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? Because we don't have 24 hours. We're flying in less than 24 hours. So what do? You go to God. And I said, God, we need a miracle. If we can't fly without the results of this swab test, our tickets are useless. I said, God, we need a miracle. So we did our swab test, and so about 2 hours later, when I get back from running some errands, Risa says, when I walk in the door, our results are back. I said, what results are back, honey? She said, from the swab test. I thought that's impossible because it takes 24 hours. I asked the lady twice and she said 24 hours to get your results back. So that's one of the awesome things about following Jesus. And when you need something to happen, and if it's part of his plan, he will make a way. And he did. So that's our miracle. But that's only the first part. So another part of this is we have to schedule the swab test at the airport in Manila. We have to schedule this 3 days prior to leaving. Well, for the past 3 days before we left, we had been trying and trying and trying and making the payment, and it failed every single time. I called my bank, and they removed whatever issue there was, and it still failed. I used another bank card, and it failed. So what can we do but ask God for another miracle? Oh my. Give me a second here. God is so good. So we asked God for another miracle. That's right. So anyway, when we arrived at Chicago O'Hare, there was a message on the board at the ticket counter that we needed to see them about an issue with our tickets. And it was about the swab test. But once again, God made a way. We didn't know what it was, but they put us on the airplane. We were the last ones on because they just rushed us with a whole bunch of information, and they said, we will get you on the flight. And they were waiting for us. We were there early, but it took a long time. Anyway, let's get to the rest of the story. They put us on the airplane to Japan. And anyway, on to Japan and then to Manila. When we arrived in Manila, we went through several areas of processing. Anyway, when we got to the main processing area where the Philippine Coast Guard was, and they directed us and helped us along with the process and directing us to which desk to go to, and so that's where we made our payment. So we arrived on the 13th, about 8:30 in the evening. We made our payment for the swab test. Okay, and so we kept going through the process. We arrived at our hotel, and so now we're in quarantine. On the third day, you will receive a confirmation email for the schedule. So like clockwork, on the third day we received an email for the confirmation. So which we received that on the 16th. Anyway, you're going to have to reply back with a little bit of information on each person having the swab test. And then they scheduled that, of course, on the 7th day. So here we are on the 7th day. They said just to stand by. We will be there on the 7th day for the swab test. But while we're waiting, I'm like, are they coming? You know, how many times have you been excited to get a swab test? Maybe not. But we're excited to get a swab test because we're ready to get out of this quarantine hotel. You know, it's a nice hotel. Great service and everything. They're taking care of us. Very good price. But it was very difficult to find. 2 queen beds, and we are a family of 4. But anyway, while we're waiting, my wife and I are talking back and forth. Are they coming? You have to understand, we get up very early in the morning. We get up anywhere between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. We get to spend time with the Lord and just praise and worship God. And as we're doing that, we get to see the beautiful sunrise over the horizon and just be amazed each day at God's creation. So while we're waiting, I called down to the desk, and they said that we would give you a courtesy call when they arrive. So right now, this is where we're at. We're waiting for that courtesy call to let us know when they arrive. And in the email, they assured us that they will arrive on the date scheduled. So anyway, this is our quarantine life. This is our life in the Philippines. On the 7th day, waiting for them to arrive and give us our swab test. Then on the 9th day, which is 2 days from now, after the test, we will receive our test results. Negative. Yes, negative. We feel great. We're in great health. So then on the 10th day, we will be able to leave. But right now, we're waiting. So keep us in your thoughts and prayers. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. But anyway, this is our story, and this is where we're at today. So thanks for watching our Fil-Am Islanders video. See you next time.